Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, live from Hamilton, Ohio. This is it. The 2025 Volleyball League of America Tier 1 Championship match. Hundreds of matches in dozens of locations around the country since December of 2024. It all comes down to this. A Founding Five matchup between the Chicago ICEMEN and the New York Legion Volleyball Club, Team LVC, with historical implications that we are so excited to get into. My name is Rob St. Clair. Welcome to the Spooky Nook Champion Mill facility here in Hamilton, Ohio. This is an enormous match. The season-long title on the line, history in the making for both of these teams. A quick little history lesson for you. This is the 6th official men's Tier 1 championship contested by the VLA. The first two, 2020, 2021, won by the Chicago ICEMEN. The second two, 2022, 2023, won by Team LVC. Last year here in this building, it was the Boston Bounce. But in terms of all-time championship history, the winner of this match will take the all-time historical lead at 3 titles to 2. This is a rematch of the 2022 Tier 1 championship match in Chicago, where Team LVC won their first ever title. But the other piece of history on the line here is the pursuit of perfection. The Chicago ICEMEN came into this weekend 18-0 on the year. Winners of the North Division Cup, the Central Division Cup, the VLA Cup, 8-0 in their division. They went 3-0 in this tournament to get to this point. They are 21-0. No team in VLA history has ever gone undefeated and gone on to win the championship that season. Team LVC looking to stop their Tier 1 Founding Five arch rivals and claim their 3rd historical championship of their own. Team LVC this weekend is rolling deep. All the complement of possible weapons. The Chicago ICEMEN, quite the opposite. 8 guys on the roster only, several regular faces missing. We're going to see how that plays out with everything on the line. It will be the Chicago ICEMEN in white and light blue on the far side of your screen. The New York Legion Volleyball Club, Team LVC, out of Albany, New York, founded by Chris Hosley, in black with the pink flamingos. They will be on the near side of your screen. Team LVC champions of the East Division regular season this year. The Chicago ICEMEN champions of the first ever North Division regular season title, as the league expanded to 4 regional divisions this year. The Chicago ICEMEN starting lineup will be VLA founding board member, Chicago ICEMEN president, and 2021 League Most Valuable Player Tim Faulkner. At the starting setter position, Jack McGuire and Sunil Thomas, both unavailable with injury. The middle blockers will be Tim Lorich and Scott Sawicki. A couple other injuries at that position, including Zach Bultice. Dave Hancock will be the starting opposite, who spent most of the season at outside hitter. The 2 outside hitters, Ethan Klosak and Rich Hoff, with several-time first-team All-VLA libero Colin Merck anchoring the ICEMEN defense. For Team LVC, the lineups are in. The outside hitters will be Billy Weiberg and Matt Clayton. The opposite, the ageless wonder Jordan Vari. The middle blockers, Matt Seifert and presumably Lance Rogers. We'll check on the second middle when he enters the match. The setter will be Tanner Maxwell, and the libero will be national champion from UCLA, Troy Gooch. Best 3 out of 5 sets for the 2025 title on the line, and we are underway. Chicago versus New York. Excellent start. Team LVC in black with the pink flamingos gets on the board from Maxwell to Seifert. This ICEMEN season that they have put together, going 21-0 to get to this point, really has been exceptional, including their first ever win at the VLA Cup tournament, a 44-team beast of an event in suburban Chicago back in May. Big stuff block there. Matt Clayton, now also out of UCLA, former club volleyball player, standout, combining with Matt Seifert there to shut down Rich Hoff. Excellent start for the Flamingos. Rotation 1 received for Chicago here. Hoff and Hancock switching on the wings, both very comfortable on either pin. Tanner Maxwell out of Grand Canyon University, a program that just recently got cut by its university. Been a big talk in men's volleyball. Serving, handled well, and Rich Hoff pounds it to the floor on the right side. Hoff, an excellent new addition this season for the ICEMEN, really has been terrific in his first year in the league out of George Mason. A concerted effort by both of these teams to get younger. These teams have been around since the beginning of the VLA and before. Out of system swing coming here from Vari on the left. He tries to recycle into the block of Hancock, but the block is too good. Dave Hancock, number 16 in white and light blue out of Purdue University, has played all 3 hitting positions in his VLA career. Started in the middle, transitioned to the right side, most of this year on the left side, now back to the right side with the title on the line. Good service pressure there from Hoff. Clayton off the tape down the line. Merck is there. Great counterattack chance. Ethan Klosak, though, is dug by Weiberg. And Klosak takes out the trash. Ball a little mishandled. Ethan Klosak, number 10 in white and light blue, the outside hitter out of Dominican University. Good Division III program in Chicago. Gained quite the reputation as perhaps pound for pound or maybe inch for inch one of the very best 6 rotation players in the league, only 6 feet tall. Here's Hoff again. Good pressure by Hoff working on Clayton. Tight pass. The block is there against Seifert. Vari takes a swing at it, which I respect, but just misses that one long. Good service pressure and blocking setup by the ICEMEN to string a couple points together in this rotation, trapping Team LVC with Vari on the left and Clayton on the right. Cut short serve there to get Clayton out of the offense, and another block by Hancock against Vari. Really smart synergy there between block and defense, and starting from the service line there for Hoff. Cutting that one short to take Clayton out of the offense. Then the entire ICEMEN block can lean to their right to worry only about 2 attackers. Really smart. That one not contacted well at all by Hoff, but the run was a positive one for Chicago. It's 5-3 in set number 1 here of this championship match. Best 3 out of 5 sets. Sets 1 through 4 played to 25 points, must win by 2. Set 5, if necessary, will be played only to 15. Here's Matt Clayton. Played last year for the Tier 2 squad, DC Dynasty. Clayton makes the play there on defense. First look at Weiberg out of Damon University. Beautiful dig there by Merck. Pretty good chance here for Maxwell. And the block is good. Weiberg is shut down. Tim Lorich out of the University of Minnesota, number 8 in white and blue, combines with former Big Ten rival Hancock to shut down Weiberg on that play. Lorich back to the baseline. A lot of serves targeted upon Matt Clayton here. Seifert was not ready for the set. Now Klosak in transition, tips down the line, and Maxwell's out of the play. Weiberg tipped over, Klosak is there. Scramble is on, Hancock to take a swing on a tight pass. Gooch, the libero, makes the play down the line, but a miscommunication between Maxwell and Seifert. Couple weird looking plays early on for Team LVC. Seifert now involved in a couple where the ball came his direction. He wasn't totally prepared to make the next contact. Good start for the ICEMEN at 7-3. Inside set ball, Faulkner there to make the play on the off speed. Out of system swing from Hancock. Chicago works so hard on this area of their game, and it comes up there. Off speed over the block, and the diving Gooch couldn't get there in time. One of the ICEMEN's calling cards is out of system transition offense. They are so good in the details of high ball setting and offensive execution against 2 and 3 blockers. Lorich again, still working on Clayton. Vari, what a scoop by Hoff, but that's a little too much sauce on it from the legendary scorer, Jordan Vari, number 15 in black. 2-time VLA champion, several first-team All-VLA honors from St. Francis University in Pennsylvania. Jordan Vari, been with Team LVC since long before the VLA even. Perfect pass there by Klosak. Hancock slowed down. Maxwell is there. Out of system swing from Vari. We'll talk about his unique footwork in a minute. He slowed down on that one on the off speed. Off the tape. Weiberg underneath it. Great chance here now for Vari, but he's rejected by Klosak. Look at that move. Ethan Klosak jumping out with the left hand to seal the line away. Probably Vari's favorite shot. You see that unique quirk with his footwork. Depending on where Jordan Vari, number 15 in black, is on the court, he changes his footwork orientation. Which step is his last? When he's on the right side, which he is in most rotations, his right foot is his last step. Very atypical for a right-handed player. And Vari there right on cue through the block of Klosak and gets a good deflection. But now you'll see when Vari goes back to serve, or when he attacks on the left side, he'll go with conventional footwork for a right-handed player where his left foot will be his last step. I've never seen a player switch up his footwork depending on location on the court the way that Vari does. Klosak handles it off the tape. Scott Sawicki in the middle's first swing is slowed down. Excellent touch there against the pipe, and a net violation, though, is called. Sawicki unhappy. He thought there was a net touch by LVC on that first exchange, but in fact it's the ICEMEN that get called for it to give Vari another chance to serve. Lance Rogers, number 10, into the front court, an elite blocker for Team LVC out of George Mason, who now lives in Chicago. Good pass by Hoff. Hancock accelerates. That ball was not touched by the block. Set a little bit too low and far in front of the attack line. And New York back within 2. Mentioned Tim Faulkner having to carry his franchise here at the setter position. He hasn't played much this year, sitting behind 2 excellent setters in Jack McGuire and Sunil Thomas, both unavailable. If the ICEMEN want to complete the perfect season, that offense will run through their team founder, Tim Faulkner, on the second contact. Faulkner was named the MVP of the Volleyball League of America after the 2021 season, where the ICEMEN won their second consecutive title. One of the new faces for Team LVC, Billy Weiberg here, number 12 in black, out of Damon University. Really good up-and-coming Division I program in Western New York. Out of system swing coming here from Hoff. Excellent reaction by Vari. Puts it right up on the net, though, and pummeled to the floor by Hoff. Getting his own rebound. The explosive, dynamic number 6 in white and light blue. Rich Hoff, kind of a quiet assassin, but he can create some highlight reel moments. Here is Scott Sawicki, longtime ICEMEN veteran out of Lindenwood in St. Louis. Dangerous server when he's on. Working on Clayton again. Rogers in the middle just gets fingertips on it. Great look in transition for Hancock. Through the block and scoop by Weiberg. Excellent dig. Wow, what a shot by Matt Clayton from an almost impossible angle with the ball coming over his shoulder, set by Gooch, and he finds an insane 4-to-4 cross-court angle. That is a special piece of offense right there. Number 23 in black. Great set as well by Troy Gooch, national champion at UCLA. Hoff is stuffed. No, never mind. Excuse me. That ball is through the block of Maxwell. I thought Tanner Maxwell just got over the net in time, but not quite. Maxwell, a really cool volleyball player to watch, can both set or play outside hitter at a really high level. Maxwell in his first year full-time with Team LVC actually won the VLA Cup last year in 2024, playing outside hitter for the River City Flow, won the VLA Cup tournament and beat the Chicago ICEMEN in the process. Excellent touch there by Hancock. Hoff makes the play, but it's back to the New York side. Clayton blocked by Lorich and covered. That is outside the antenna. The blocking presence by the Chicago ICEMEN, a real factor here early on in set number 1. Tim Lorich making some nice moves going to his right. With Team LVC, so many bodies on the roster. 16 available players, if I'm not mistaken. Keep an eye on the options that they could go to at the outside hitter position. There are no other options, though, on the right side. This is Jordan Vari's team as far as the offensive workload. Big shout out to Novice Clothing Company, our apparel provider. One of the coolest things any sports uniform I've really ever seen. On kind of the bottom across the Team LVC's jerseys are written the names of, I believe it's every single player who's ever suited up for Team LVC in a major tournament. The last names of current and former New York volleyball legends: Nick Scherzian, Christy Blau, Greg Petty, Spencer Wickens, Cody Kessel, Blake Leeson. So many, and a really cool move by New York to honor those legendary players on the jersey. Got work to do here, though. They make a play in transition. Seifert, again, not ready in transition on offense. And Hancock immediately makes New York pay for it. I do not know what Matt Seifert is doing. He has been in position to get set the ball several times and just hasn't jumped, hasn't been there. Chicago ICEMEN lead 15-10. Dave Hancock looks really good, switching to the right side so far in this tournament. Here's Rich Hoff. Pretty good pressure. Clayton on the right side, off the head of Lorich into the side curtain. A fortunate deflection there for New York. These two programs, these two franchises, two of the founding five, the five teams that founded this league back in 2019. The first championship ever contested in the middle of the pandemic in 2020. Amazing angle there, found by Hancock. Vari rolled, that ball is to the ground in front of Rich Hoff. To see how far this league has come, a four-team event, the only thing that we were able to pull off in the first year of the pandemic in 2020. Four teams all the way now to this championship event here in Cincinnati. Men's Tier 1, women's, men's Tier 2, men's Tier 3 to Tier 2 promotion. Close to 100 total teams in the Volleyball League of America, grown from just 4 in less than 6 years. Really remarkable. Overpass there, the deflection off the tape from Clayton confused Hoff, and Weiberg takes care of it to get New York within 2. Team LVC done some good work on the serve of Matt Clayton in these rotations. Decent handle there by Klosak. Give and go on the left side. He tools the block of Vari. Ooh, wow, I'm very surprised that ball took that deflection and was not given as a touch off the block. Definitely caught some of the tape, but in so many cases when you're not sure if the ball is touched by the block or not, in a case like that, it almost always is. Maybe Team LVC catching a break there. 14 serving 15. Perfect pass. One-on-one for Klosak. Gooch makes the play, and Clayton is able to chase it down. Barely sent back over, though. Advantage ICEMEN for sure. Lorich slowed down by Seifert in the middle. Weiberg for the tie. Comes up short, trying to rip it cross court, and failed to clear the tape. So remember that point. That could have been a big opportunity for LVC to steal one and keep that run going. Instead, it's 16-14 ICEMEN for Lorich. Seifert in the middle, slowed down by Sawicki. Back to Vari, off the block of Klosak and out of bounds, no touch. Jordan Vari carrying a heavy load so far for New York, as he is used to doing. Just a wonderful God-gifted right shoulder on number 15 in black. Ooh, good setting by Faulkner to get Klosak and opening down the line. Eric Martin, the serving sub, is in to make the play on the second contact, and the legendary E, number 13 in black at 50 years of age, comes in and makes a play, gets his team a point on his serve. We're tied up at 16. Mention the Chicago ICEMEN at 21-0 on the year. Team LVC comes in at 17-5. As the ICEMEN there retake the lead on the offense from the left side. Team LVC actually did lose a pool play game yesterday, a 5-setter to the Phoenix Ascension, but were able to advance, having taken second place in their pool, and took care of their East Division rival, the Boston Bounce, this morning in a 3-0 sweep in the semifinal to get back to the championship match for the first time since 2023. Not a great pass. Vari against two blockers, off the block of Klosak again. That ball is out of bounds wide. Good inside-out shoulder action from Vari to generate that tool. The ICEMEN undefeated yesterday. Obviously, they were scared by the Boston bounce. We're down 2-0, had to come back and win that pool play match in a reverse sweep. Set up a date with founding 5 rival Team Pineapple, the champions of the Central Division. But Chicago won that match this morning, 3-0 in that semifinal. Ripped down the line by Hancock, but Gooch is there. Rogers slowed down in the middle. That is not a lift called, but a free ball chance here for the ICEMEN. Hancock out of the back row, deep cross court and out of bounds, no touch. Team LVC takes the lead 18-17. Talk about a difference-making libero. Troy Gooch from Western New York played his career at IPFW before graduate transferring to UCLA, where he won a national title 2 seasons ago. Finally suiting up for LVC after a couple years of trying to make it work. Good restorative swing there from Klosak through the block and down cross court. We are tied up at 18 apiece. Really exciting tone being set here in this championship match by both teams in set number 1. Hancock makes that play on defense, but it's back to the New York side. Flicked all the way to the backside to Vari. Hancock there. Hoff for the lead. Blocked and not covered. George Mason on George Mason crime. Lance Rogers wins the battle in the front court there. Rogers, long-time stalwart in the middle for Team LVC, but as of recently lives full-time in Chicago. Weiberg working on Hoff, perfect pass. Hoff down the line, pulled out of bounds, no touch. Too much thumb up side spin, and the New York lead is 2. No timeout here from Chicago. I'm a bit surprised. And we will have what looks like a blocking specialist come in, Cam Milligan, number 30 in black, 6'6" outside hitter, also out of Damon University, in for Matt Clayton to put up a block here on New York's left side. Perfect pass by Merck as usual. Hancock ripped cross court out of the back row. Vari stabbed at it, couldn't control it. The ICEMEN are within 1. Work to do from the baseline here, and it will be a man capable in Scott Sawicki. This is where championships are made and lost, right here. The proverbial red zone after point 20. A serve right on cue. Scott Sawicki tags the sideline flawlessly, untouched wrist away, right on the sideline. What a time for some service pressure from number 22 in white and light blue. Tied up at 20, anybody's game. Sawicki comes up short there. That break point, though, could be huge for Chicago, as now a different service substitution. No, excuse me. This is a middle blocker substitution. Number 11 in black, Maverick O'Neal, is into the front court, 6'4" out of Damon University as well. He's in place of Seifert as like a full-time middle blocker at this point. Keep an eye on number 11. Oh my goodness, keep an eye on number 11 is right. An enormous one-on-one stuff block. What a read he makes on the Bick immediately off the bench to shut down Ethan Klosak. 22-20. Could be a set deciding point right there for O'Neal, fresh off the bench. Unbelievable spark generated. Wow, no doubter there from Hoff on the left side. And now the ICEMEN once again with work to do in the hole by 1 and serving. It will be Tim Faulkner, one of the board of directors of the Volleyball League of America, one of 7 visionary people that created this league back in 2019. Ball a little overset. O'Neal makes the play with his left hand. Merck sends it back over to New York. O'Neal again slowed down. Now a chance for the tie. Hancock deep. Weiberg up into the ceiling and sealing out of bounds. Point ICEMEN. We're tied at 22. International rules. Ball off the ceiling immediately out of bounds. Ceilings are plenty high here at this facility. They don't come into play often. There's a massive block touch and defensive play there for the ICEMEN. Credit to Tim Lorich, who was there to slow down the dynamic middle attacker in O'Neal. Now we're tied. Milligan going to have a swing on the left side for the first time. Over the block and out of bounds, but the touch is called. Off the fingertips of the block, and the ICEMEN can't believe it. The ICEMEN can't believe it. Wow, none of them insisting that there was no touch on that play is the entire ICEMEN lineup, but called by the near side line judge. No replay challenges available. That call's going to stand. New York leads 23-22. Rotation 1 receive here for the ICEMEN against Maxwell's serve. Perfect pass by Merck. Hancock, sharp cross court through the block off of Gooch, and we're tied again. 23 apiece. New York with the narrow advantage of receiving serve here. This pivotal moment in set number 1 of the league championship match. Rich Hoff, a very dangerous server at the line for the ICEMEN. A couple substitutions already in on the LVC side. And that ball served out of bounds by Hoff to bring up set point. 24-23. First look at the service line for Cam Milligan. Big moment for the youngster out of Damon. Rotation 2 received for the ICEMEN to force overtime. Good fight off pass by Merck. Hoff out of the back row, missed it out of bounds. Oh my goodness, New York comes from behind and steals set number 1. 25-23 on the unforced error. Can Chicago recover from that? Maybe a questionable call on the block touch that Milligan got against the 3-man block of Chicago.
Our ref says that there's no third and 2 contacts on the third touch. So look up the rules.
Very, very interesting. Team LVC is 1 set closer to their 3rd Volleyball League of America championship title. They could break a tie with their opponents, the Chicago ICEMEN, if you're just joining us. This is the 6th championship contested in the history of the VLA. The first 2 ever were won by the ICEMEN, the second 2 ever, and the 3rd and 4th ever, if you will, won by Team LVC. Last year on this very court, won by the Boston Bounce. But one of these 2 teams is going to take the all-time lead in titles at 3 to their opponents' 2. Team LVC made some significant changes in the middle of set number 1. They brought in Maverick O'Neal in the middle for Matt Seifert. They brought in Cam Milligan on the outside for Matt Clayton. But it will be both Seifert and Clayton who start here in set number 2. So the same starting lineup used by Coach CJ Dank of Team LVC. Team LVC, the Legion Volleyball Club out of Albany, New York, founded by Chris Hosley, another member of the Volleyball League of America Board of Directors. An outstanding junior club attached to Team LVC, both the boys and girls. And their adult team, this Legion Flamingos team you see here before you, has completely dominated the East Coast adult volleyball scene for over a decade, in addition to 2 Volleyball League of America championships in their trophy case. Set number 2 about ready to get underway. New York in black on the far side will serve. The Chicago ICEMEN in white and light blue, trailing by a set on the near side, will receive. The ICEMEN have been pushed several times in their season of perfection so far. 21-0. Played several 5-setters, a couple of reverse sweeps, including one yesterday. They've got to dig deep right here. We're talking about something between the officials and the match officials, some league officials, and the coaches at the scorers table. I don't know what that conversation is about, but I believe that's the delay, because looks like Maxwell's got the ball in hand and is ready to serve for Team LVC. Been a remarkable season for the Volleyball League of America, continuing to grow, adding an entirely new competitive division this year in Tier 3 on the men's side, adding a new regional division in the North Division, rounding the league out at 4, East, West, Central, and North. Incredible growth on the women's side as well. The VLA Cup tournament back in May featured 62 total teams between men and women. The East Division Cup this year on the men's side won by Team LVC. The North Division Cup and the VLA Cup tournaments won by the ICEMEN. But this is bigger than all of them. I believe we are finally ready for set number 2. Maxwell misses the baseline, and Sawicki will serve for the ICEMEN with a 1-0 lead. Pretty good pass by Weiberg. Seifert gets his own rebound off the block. Tricky out-of-system swing here for Vari. Hancock is there. Great look and counterattack. Hoff ripped into the cross courts. Really a nice sharp angle by number 6 in white and light blue. Yeah, it's been on the board 2-0. Another thing I've been impressed with really by both of these teams all season, but the ICEMEN in particular, is the intention and the strategy with which they serve. One of the big difference makers from the good teams to the great teams in the VLA is not just serving firepower, but serving strategy. Do you target the right guy? Do you make the team uncomfortable with location versus just strictly pace? Do you have the variability of some float servers in your lineup? The ICEMEN really serve with great intention. LVC on the board there with that error by Sawicki. Clayton back to the baseline. Perfect pass by Klosak. Ooh, setter dump attempted by Faulkner. Well read. Billy Weiberg was all over it. Beautiful read by the left side blocker for New York for the 2-2 tie. Clayton again. Perfect pass by Klosak, 2 in a row. Hoff ripped down the line nicely. Made a late error in the first set on a similar swing to that, trying to go down the line outside the blocker. That one looked much better. Here is Faulkner. Good block touch. Klosak makes a stab. That ball is hittable for Hancock. He goes high. Clayton is there now. Weiberg with a swing, and Klosak makes another defensive play. Can Hoff terminate? Almost. Basically a free ball chance now. Hancock against one blocker. Inside set is dug by Clayton. Back to the ICEMEN side. Hoff accelerates. Gets his feet to the inside ball, off the tape and down. Good defensive rally by both teams. Won by Chicago in breakpoint fashion. 4 serving 2 for Faulkner once again. Rotation 2 receive for New York. Maxwell to Weiberg. Excellent stab by Klosak on defense again. Hoff takes the setter out of the play. Now Gooch to Weiberg. Beautiful block move by Hancock, but the coverage by Gooch is there. Now Vari slowed down. Faulkner to Hoff. Off the block and on the sideline. That ball is in. Right on the sideline. Good blocking by Jordan Vari. Man, the middle back defense, position 6 on both teams, doing a really good job. Both Clayton for New York and Klosak for Chicago. Being in the right spot, being deep enough to make these plays off of these block deflections. That's exactly where you got to be in high-level defense. These attackers are so good out of system. They can see blockers. They can hit high, flat shots. Ooh, tight set. Not well handled at all by Hoff. And the float serve of Seifert working down the line delivers a break point for Team LVC. Seifert, another nice new addition to the LVC side this year. Big 6'9" middle blocker out of Penn State. That ball handled by Merck. Hoff on the right side. Deep cross court, stabbed at by Maxwell, but into the ceiling and out of bounds. Chicago retakes the lead. Rich Hoff looking to do some damage from the baseline here. Excellent pass by Clayton. Rogers in the middle gets his own rebound off the block. Weiberg, straight up in the air off the touch of Hancock, and no ICEMEN player could turn around and find it quickly enough. Give the kill again to Billy Weiberg. Here is Vari, a very dangerous server. Beautiful pass by Klosak. Off the tape and dug is Hoff. Transition chance, Weiberg tight set. That ball is swiped down the line and out of bounds. The ICEMEN blockers smartly pulling hands away, not giving Weiberg a target off of which to swipe the ball. And Chicago gets away with it. 6-5 for Tim Lorich. Ooh, good float service pressure. Basically an ace serve. Look at that. Handcuffed Billy Weiberg as it dipped to about his belt line. Tried to still take it with his hands. Nowhere for that ball to go. Nice movement on that serve from Lorich. Great examples on both sides of the net here of the different types of player, different pedigrees that can result in a great VLA player. A couple NCVF club products, all the way up to Division I. Faulkner, for example, for the ICEMEN, didn't even play volleyball in college. And that is a back row attack violation against Hoff. Stepped on the 10-foot line as he jumped to go get that ball. Six serving 7 now for Weiberg. Ooh, Klosak through the block of Maxwell and down. I think Klosak thought he got, or sorry, Maxwell thought he got there and pressed in time. Fell to the floor in front of the defense. 8-6 Chicago. Hancock, who won the MVP of the North Division Cup, which the ICEMEN won in 4 sets over a really good St. Louis Stallions team. Not a very good service error there from Hancock on the float serve wide. Ooh, overpass by Klosak. Vari to make him pay into the antenna. Unforced error, out of bounds down the line. Remember that one. Early in the second set still. Plenty of volleyball left to be played. That was a great chance for New York to level it up after the overpass float serve by Chicago. Now Klosak at 9 serving 7. Easy handled by Gooch there. And crushed out of the back row as usual by Vari. Some nasty movement on that ball, both dipping downwards and a little bit from right to left, as you see from the camera view. Some funky wrist away side spin. Vari, such a, I mean, great shoulder obviously, but incredibly consistent hand contactor as well. Inside set, pretty good recycle. Hoff through the block, pretty good deflection. Maxwell underneath it now. Really tricky play by Clayton in transition, who recycles. Vari recycles again, and it pops right up on top of the net for Seifert, who calmly taps the ball down to the floor and did not reach over the net in doing so. Reach across the net, that is. Smart out-of-system offense there by both teams in tricky situations. Their outside hitters making smart plays to tap the ball up into the block and recycle it back on their side. Pretty good pass there by Merck. Hoff high off the block of Seifert and out of bounds to regain the lead for the ICEMEN. Sawicki had an ace late in set number 1. More conservative here. Ooh, not great contact there by Seifert in the middle. Good diving play by Hancock, but back to New York. Seifert again, another great dig by Hancock. Now he'll take a swing. Unbelievable individual play. Dave Hancock with 2 world-class digs, and then gets back and takes an out-of-system swing out of the back row. That was remarkable individual volleyball by number 16 in light blue. Special stuff there for the North Division Cup MVP. Really an amazing bounce-back season for Hancock, who at the beginning of the 2024 season suffered a torn ACL in a regular season match. Surgery, rehab, and here he is playing for a championship. Gets another swing chance here. Ball may have been going out of bounds. Stabbed at by Weiberg. Now Vari, dug nicely by Klosak. Can Hoff terminate? Almost. Vari, almost no transition. Hoff is out of the play. Now Hancock against 3 blockers. Rolled, and Maxwell is there. Vari again with very little transition, but he exploits the block of Faulkner anyway. Fatigue setting in that rally, but Vari ends it for New York to stay within 1. Now Matt Clayton. Not a great pass by Merck. Unusual. Hoff against 3 blockers is rejected. Billy Weiberg comes over to join Seifert and Vari. LVC ties us up at 11. Excellent 3-man block set up to complement the service pressure from Clayton. Pretty good stab of a pass by Hoff. He'll take another swing out of system, and it's blocked twice in a row. Vari and Seifert, 2-man wall that time for LVC to take the lead. Hoff twice in a row, unable to find his way around the LVC block. Where does the offense for Chicago go this time? Now trailing for the first time in the set. That's a better pass by Merck. Lorich in the middle off the block of Seifert and out of bounds. Good choice there by Faulkner. Off the good pass to keep the quick middle attack involved. 12 apiece here as we swap out the volleyball for a drier version. Ooh, look at that float service pressure. Faulkner totally handcuffs Clayton. Free ball chance for Chicago. Hoff against the one-on-one. Beautiful angle again in front of a diving Troy Gooch. Chicago retakes the lead. That float serve from Tim Faulkner doesn't look like much, but it gets on you quicker than you think, and the way that it knuckles around is nasty. You expect that ball to dip when it's about to hit your platform. That one rose. Caught Clayton in the chest. Ooh, just off the tape. Gooch is underneath it. Vari slowed down. Klosak not quite deep enough to run down the block touch. Pure power from Jordan Vari. Here is Seifert. Had some success serving last time straight down the line at Hoff, number 6 in light blue. Similar serve. Merck takes up the space. Hancock tipped into the block and recycled. Hancock again against 2 blockers. This time finds the seam and explodes through it. Really pays to have such a versatile athlete at the opposite position in Hancock, who's so comfortable hitting on the left, so you don't have any issues in rotation 1. Here is Hoff with a 1-point lead. Put some pressure on Gooch. Weiberg blocked, covered. Now Vari is stuffed straight down. What a move by Ethan Klosak. Slamming the door on the line, and maybe a little stare down by Vari after getting rejected there. I love it. 15-13 ICEMEN, turning up the heat a little bit. Hoff again, good serve last time. Gooch taking up a lot of space in position 1. And he allows that ball to go past him long. Fantastic to finally see Troy Gooch playing in the VLA. Just finished his first professional season. No, I believe his second professional season, sorry. He was in Finland this year. Headed to Germany to play in the Bundesliga next year for Düren. Really good contract for an American libero, so shout out to Troy Gooch. Good run there to Lorich in the middle for the ICEMEN. Not a great pass by Clayton. Vari against 2 blockers. No touch on its way out of bounds that time. Float service pressure, very underrated, but you can see the effects. You're not sure as the receiver if that ball's going to dip down into your platform or rise. That one, Clayton thought it was going to rise, so he committed to taking it with his hands. Instead, it dipped. So he wasn't able to pass the ball high enough for Maxwell to have very many options. Looks like the floor is sufficiently clean and dry. ICEMEN lead by 3. Had a similar lead at a similar point in set number 1 before New York mounted a comeback. Lorich misses that one out of bounds wide. If you've been tuning in throughout this Greater Championships tournament, you may have noticed the victory by the Sun City Team IX out of Phoenix, Arizona. Won the Tier 2 championship, and in doing so secured promotion to VLA Tier 1 for next season. So just this season, Tier 1 expanded to 11 teams. Next year, Tier 1 will include 12 teams. Huge congratulations to Tyler Gardenhire and Team IX for their championship earlier today. We're excited to see them play at this level next year. Beautiful swing there by Clayton right through the arms of Sawicki as he sarcastically celebrates with the field goal celebration. Eric Martin, the longtime legend for Team LVC, in for Rogers as a service substitution here. 16 serving 18. Faulkner gets underneath that ball, able to get it to the backside to Hancock, and the roll shot scores. Athletic play there by Faulkner to contort his body, get underneath that low ball, and flick it back to Hancock. Service substitution is undone on the LVC side. Pretty good pressure by Klosak. Even better handled by Weiberg, though. Through the block and through the hands of Hoff on the ICEMEN side. Give the kill to Matt Clayton. 17 serving 19. Can the ICEMEN continue to keep New York at arm's length, or can Maxwell do some damage from the baseline right here? Rotation 5 receive for Chicago. Faulkner, a front court setter. 0 for 1 in setter dump attempts. Wow, what a lucky break. Tanner Maxwell, right off the tape, took all the steam off of that volleyball and produces an ace serve. Very fortunate, but they don't ask how, they ask how many, and how many is a deficit of just one. No timeout from Chicago. Not a good pass. 2 aces in a row. Klosak the victim that time. We're tied up at 19, and a 3-point Chicago lead is erased. Again, no timeout for the ICEMEN. 2 timeouts per team per set, but Scott Sawicki will take all the time he needs to tie his shoe on the right sideline for Chicago. Maxwell already 2 aces in a row. What's he got here? Better handle by Merck. Overpass though, not much better. Vari takes it out. Faulkner chasing, couldn't handle it. The New York team LVC has taken the lead. 20-19, 2 aces, 1 lucky, 1 earned, and then an overpass forced from the baseline by Tanner Maxwell. Now a timeout by the Chicago ICEMEN, as they are in danger of letting a second consecutive lead in a set slip away. If the ICEMEN are going to cap off the perfect season with a championship, they will have to earn it. Nothing given at this level. Everything earned. Serving 19 out of the timeout. Massive point in this championship match. Tanner Maxwell, can you keep this run going? Where does Faulkner go with the ICEMEN offense here? Better pass by Klosak. Hancock out of the back row. Dug by Gooch off the block touch. Seifert for a 2-point lead. Up and available this time in the middle around Sawicki and pounded to the floor. 21-19 Team LVC. What a string of points this is for Tanner Maxwell in this service rotation. Unbelievable. I think it was 17-14 ICEMEN. A 7-2 run. The run is over with the serve out of bounds. Now Sawicki and the ICEMEN trail. But in this exact same situation, in set number 1 late, the ICEMEN trailed by a point, and Sawicki served an ace to the position 5 sideline. Now some gamesmanship answered perhaps by Gooch on the LVC side, tying his shoe. Can Sawicki deliver again? Not quite, just out of bounds long. 2-point New York lead as the bench celebrates. Matt Clayton to the baseline. Hoff, dug by Gooch. Huge chance here. Clayton is rejected by Lorich. What a dive by number 8 in light blue to his right to shut that down and keep his team within striking distance. I think that was the first BIC attempted by New York in this match, trying to get Clayton involved in transition out of the middle back position. And Chicago all over it now, 21-22 for Faulkner. Oh, not a good service error. Float serve coming up short in a moment like that. Now a service substitution, Jake Gleason, one of the backup setters, number 24 in black. The lefty out of Nazareth College into serve and play defense for Seifert. 23-21 Team LVC leads. Hancock effortlessly puts that away down the line. Side out achieved for Chicago as New York undoes the service substitution, but all the pressure on the ICEMEN right now. New York can side out twice and take a 2-0 lead in this championship match. Gotta make something happen from the baseline right here. Hoff, decent pressure on Gooch. Hoff makes the play on defense. Lorich, hittable ball for Hancock. Rogers reacts. Gooch underneath it, and the tight play is still alive. Hancock cross-court dug by Maxwell. Ooh, Klosak sends it back over to the New York side. Rogers a scoop by Hoff. Klosak takes the swing, lights up Gooch, but he's there. Maxwell barely able to keep it alive. Free ball chance here for the ICEMEN, a crazy rally. Hancock to the inside, gets the fingertips of the block, or does he? Oh, that ball is absolutely touched. That ball is absolutely touched. That is a missed call. I can't believe this. I cannot believe that that call was missed. That ball was clearly touched. Instead, Team LVC has 24-22 set point. That is a potentially set deciding call. Vari misses the serve into the net, but still set point Team LVC. They get to do it in reception against the Tim Lorich float serve. I cannot believe this latest twist. 23-24. Got to serve in, obviously. Tight pass, and the center dump by Maxwell straight to the floor. For the second consecutive set, New York erases a deficit and steals it 25-23. Wow. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. Rob St. Clair here inside our broadcast booth. Big thanks to you all for watching on YouTube and everyone who's been a part of this season and this championship event and just everything that the VLA has done to grow into this year. I'm stunned. I'm stunned at this. At the result of set two there. That ball by Dave Hancock that he swung at was very obviously touched by the block from my point of view. There was no debate about it, and that call was missed by all four officials. There's no other way to say it. Team LVC, credit to them for capitalizing upon it to win it 25-23, but now the ICEMEN perfect season in total jeopardy, losing each of the first two sets 25-23. And with only 8 guys on the roster, very few options to go to, they've got to dig as deep as humanly possible to stave off championship defeat here. New York in the driver's seat, obviously, and playing good volleyball. They've been the more clutch team after point 15 in each of the first two sets. Really remarkable. We'll see if Chicago can turn it around. While we have a moment, a lot of people to thank, though. The entire VLA board of directors, all the work that has gone into creating this season. You guys have no idea how much heart and effort it takes to produce a league at this scale on the budgets that we're working with. It really is a testament to everyone involved. All of our sponsors included, Novice Clothing Company, Franklin Equipment, our new ball sponsor this year. They've done a phenomenal job. Stat Together, one of our most important partners in live streaming, database management. So many people involved in website, social media, content creation. Shout out to Team Woot for the production this weekend. A tremendous job by them, as always, helping to bring high quality and big scale to all of our broadcasts. Thanks to you all. Thank you all for watching and continuing to support volleyball. It's a really important time to support volleyball in the United States, men's volleyball in particular. It's been a tough couple weeks. Many of you know about the discontinuation of the Grand Canyon University program that really rocked the NCAA. A level like this, a league like this, that continues to provide more and more opportunities at increasingly high levels is really important, and it needs your support. So we appreciate you very much, and you're tuning into a good one. The season has culminated in some drama here. Let's get right back to it with set number 3 to see if the ICEMEN can turn this thing around. Ooh, a substitution is being made here. A new lineup for the Chicago ICEMEN. Stone Metz, number 4, is in at opposite. Can't slow down Matt Clayton there, who starts the set beautifully for Team LVC on the left side. Dave Hancock has moved back to the left side to the outside hitter position where he's played most of this season. Ethan Klosak to the bench. So Hancock from the right to the left, Stone Metz from the bench to the opposite position. Get a good look at the explosive number 4 in light blue out of TCU. Hancock on the right side. He's going to be the guy at whatever position he is offensively. Metz just sends that one over, takes Maxwell out of the play. Vari off the block of Metz and out of bounds. Excellent start for New York. A smooth side out and a break point on the serve of Maxwell, who has been a huge difference maker from the baseline. Architected that run to get New York back into the second set. Beautiful pass by Hancock. Straight over the top of the block. That ball is dug. Back to the ICEMEN side. Underset ball to the middle of Lorich. Clayton for a 3-0 lead through the block and down. Wow, everything going the way of Team LVC right now. That was a great swing by Dave Hancock in the first ball side out play. Just even better defense. I think it was Billy Weiberg who stabbed underneath that ball and kept it off the floor. Misconnection there on the serve by Maxwell. The ICEMEN are on the board. Here is Hancock. Not a particularly good service error there. Hancock normally such a quiet, steady player, obviously an extremely high level, terrific athlete, but emotionally a steady guy. He is fired up right now after that call was missed in the second set that may have cost the ICEMEN the set. Expect a lot of balls to go Hancock's way. This one to Hoff off the block and out of bounds on the left side. Here is Tim Lorich. Vari down the line beautifully off the block of Hoff and then into the antenna. Textbook swing by number 15 in black. Well, really just so fascinating mechanically, Vari, with his reverse footwork and the way that he's able to open up his shoulders like that and still hit the ball down the line. Just really impressive. That float serve missed out of bounds by Seifert. First look at the baseline from Stone Metz. And commits a foot fault in addition to the service error out of bounds. Got to start quite a bit further back with his approach on that one. 6-3 start for Team LVC. They have not had a lead like this early in a set, or really at all in this match so far, yet the most important one is the lead that they have 2-0. Hoff deals with that serve off the tape, and that ball is set too tight by Hancock. Maxwell, the aggressive front court setter, throws it down for another New York point on serve. Wow. That's an error you don't see very often. Jordan Vari underneath the net. Didn't even get to the bottom tape. And the LVC bench absolutely loves it. They'll make Jordan pay for that serve a little later on. Let's put it that way. Hoff keeps that one in play. Rogers blocked by Sawicki and covered. Off the tape, Merck is there. Out of system swing coming here from Hancock on the left side, but he buries it into the net short. Normally beautifully detail-oriented out-of-system offense for the ICEMEN, not in sync here to start set number 3. Here is Weiberg sporting the glasses. Sawicki, wow, what a play by Gooch to get underneath that ball, diving to his left, but New York couldn't quite keep the ball alive. Gooch not happy about it. Team LVC does still lead by 3. If Sawicki's got some magic in the right shoulder, now would be a great time for the ICEMEN. Not to be this time. Here is Rogers. Metz out of the back row, tipped. Excellent reaction by Clayton to keep it alive. Then he takes a swing. Blocked, covered, back to the ICEMEN. Now Hancock against a one-on-one. Excellent shot down the line to get within 3. Good offense there, facilitated by Faulkner. Sawicki to the bench is working on his hand, trying to get some tape on that right hand. We'll keep an eye on that. Excellent dig by Merck there against Clayton. Can Hancock pay it off? No, not yet. Vari out of the back row, blocked by Hancock and down. Just barely, sort of a gentle blocking motion there, as that ball fell harmlessly on the LVC side. Chicago will take it though. Break point for Faulkner on serve. They're back within 2. Has been the match of the comebacks. The team that has led at point 15 has lost each of the first 2 sets. That ball hit out of bounds by Vari, trying to go cross court out of the back row this time. No touch off the block. Two points in a row for the ICEMEN on the float serve of Faulkner. Over the tape, Seifert, the middle blocker, handles it. Excellent read, Lorich and Hancock there. The shutdown Weiberg on the Bick. And now we're tied. The ICEMEN blocking coming up big. That particular piece of offense from New York did not fool the ICEMEN block whatsoever. Tied up at 9. Ooh, the pineapple. Look at that. Tanner Maxwell. Loy Ball would be proud. The one-handed flick to deep position 5. Coined and trademarked as the pineapple by the legendary Loy Ball. Co-founder and member of the VLA Board of Directors. Maxwell follows up the kill with the service error short that time. Here is Hancock. Lorich all over that middle attack, nowhere for Seifert to go now. Clayton against 2 blockers. Good reaction by Faulkner. Ooh, beautiful set. What a dig by Gooch down the line against Metz. But Metz comes back and makes the play in the blocking game. There is a sample of the explosive physicality of Stone Metz, and a really good depth piece for the ICEMEN have helped them carry through long tournament runs, both at the North Division Cup and the VLA Cup this year. Valuable piece of the ICEMEN future, getting some championship experience right here, right now. Good block touch again. Again, Hancock to Metz, but this time Vari responds with a block of his own. Fun back and forth volleyball there in the front court by both teams. We're tied up at 11. Perfect pass by Hancock. Metz straight over the block of Weiberg. Cross court off Clayton and out of here. That is a very difficult ball to defend when it comes from a height like that. Here is Lorich. 1 point ICEMEN lead, have dug themselves out of an early 3-point hole. Lorich has been good from the baseline in spots today, but we'll have to wait for Clayton and LVC to clean up the floor on their side. Passed a bit off the net from Gooch off the hands. That is, what's the call here? That ball is blocked and inbounds. Yes, I think that's what I saw too in real time. That happened quickly as Sawicki closed the block with Hoff against Vari. The ball was kind of hit right into the middle of the two blockers, deflected towards the right sideline of your camera. I thought that ball was in on the LVC side, and that is the call. Good block for the ICEMEN on Lorich's serve, and they lead by 2. Nice comeback effort for Chicago. Gooch steps in front of Clayton to pass that ball. Repeats that to Vari. Beautiful dig. Incredible reaction by Lorich. Free ball chance, know that now, though. Vari again. Stuffed by Sawicki. Unbelievable rally. 2 in a row for the ICEMEN. What a dig by Tim Lorich, the middle blocker in position 5 to get it started. And then Sawicki comes over again to close the door on Vari for the second swing in a row. Now it's the ICEMEN with a 3-point lead. As we've learned, a 3-point lead in this match means very little. Good dig by Lorich again. Metz with a legit swing chance. Weiberg reacts, and now we'll take a swing against 2 blockers. Hoff is underneath it, but he's out of the play. Sawicki wins the joust. Now Weiberg stuffs again! Unbelievable blocking sequence by Scott Sawicki. Timeout LVC. Absolutely got to stop the momentum there. What a string of blocking plays by number 22 in light blue. 2 on Vari, 1 on Weiberg. Remarkable comeback sequence for the Chicago ICEMEN. 15-11 timeout New York. Out of the timeout, Lorich serving again. An extremely productive rotation here for the ICEMEN. Weiberg not able to get him out of it yet. That ball is touched. Admitted to by Stone Metz. The sportsmanship. And block touch calls have been a storyline in this championship match. See if that earns the ICEMEN any karma on a call like that. Maybe later down the line. 12 serving 15 for LVC, who gets out of that rotation out of the timeout. Now Seifert's turn at the baseline. Good pass by Hancock. Metz down the line and in. That ball is right on the baseline. Coach CJ Dink of Team LVC is beside himself that ball was called inbounds. I saw it in real time. The ICEMEN point gives them a 4-point lead, 16-12. Weiberg, cross court, out of bounds, no touch. Missed opportunity there for New York off a decent pass. Now we're going to have an outside hitter substitution. Cam Milligan in this time for fellow Damon alumnus Billy Weiberg. We saw Milligan, number 30 in black, in set number 1. 17-12. The Icemen must capitalize upon this lead. Another foot fault by Metz. That cannot happen 2 times in a row like that. Here is Vari. Perfect pass by Hancock. Hoff jumped a little bit early, slowed down by the block. Perfect dig by Gooch. Now Vari, dug by Hancock. Metz is able to chase this down. Actually in a hittable position for Hoff. And a beautiful individual play by Cam Milligan. Wow, look at that transition footwork. Comes way inside underneath the block to scoop that ball in the off-speed defensive play. Then works hard to get all the way to the outside, have an approach and a swing. Excellent play by number 30 in black, fresh off the bench. New York within 3. Pretty good pass. Metz out of the back row, blocked and covered, but this is back to New York, and they're going to have an out-of-system swing. Milligan off the block of Sawicki and out of bounds. 2 points, third set here. Again, an Icemen lead at this same area of the set is dwindling. Good service pressure again. Hoff explodes down the line. That ball clearly touched by Maxwell. Very clearly touched by Maxwell. The ball is out of bounds, but that is the most obviously block-touched ball. There we go. The call is correct. Very obviously that ball was deflected off the elbow of Tanner Maxwell's right arm. 18-15 Icemen for Rich Hoff. A serve right on the sideline. Hoff untouched, and even the LVC bench can't complain about that one as it's right in front of them. Excellent serving. 4-point Icemen lead. Milligan takes an additional step to his left to try and pass that ball if it comes at him again. Hoff comes up short this time. That is all 3 contacts for LVC. Ball falls on their side. The Icemen lead is 4, and now New York will use their second timeout to try and slow down Sawicki. 20-16. Can the Icemen get on the board and extend this championship match? Out of the timeout, Scott Sawicki to serve. Can the Icemen push this third set across the finish line? Wow, really good pressure. Vari is able to chase it down by the curtain, but a free ball here for the Icemen. Hancock high off the hands of Maxwell and down. Beautiful swing. 21-16. Good service pressure there by Sawicki. And it appears that the ICEMEN are dead set on not letting this lead slip away. More good pressure. Gooch is not able to chase it down by the bench, and actually an extremely smart play there by head coach CJ Denk of Team LVC. Troy Gooch was about to go jumping over the bench and try to make a crazy play to bring that ball back, but I agree with the move there by Denk to just get in the way of his great libero, say don't put your body on the line for this particular ball. This set is probably lost. Live to fight in set number 4 and potentially beyond. And now in a similar spirit, LVC making 2 substitutions. Nate Reynolds, number 20 in black, in at middle blocker. Mike Kruger, number 26 in black, in at setter. And a lucky ace serve. Scott Sawicki trickles it over the tape just barely, and it falls on the LVC side. Very fortunate. But at 23-16, it does appear that the ICEMEN are not going down in a sweep at least. And we will have at least one more set of volleyball to play here with the Tier 1 championship on the line. Excellent pass by Gooch. Vari missed it out of bounds, out of the back row down the line, and might as well get those out of the way now if you're New York, because that was a golden opportunity. Excellent set by Kruger, had the ICEMEN block on skates. Set point Chicago, 24-16. Milligan fights that one off. Clayton sends it over aggressively. Pretty nice play. And the recycle play is rejected by Reynolds. So New York keeps the set alive at least briefly. And our first look at Nate Reynolds from the baseline. 6'8" middle blocker out of Springfield College, a terrific Division III program in Western Massachusetts. Mets out of the back row, ripped down the line, and Chicago ends the third set, in style. 25-17, the ICEMEN are on the board. Started slowly in that third set, but a couple terrific service runs. They got a comfortable margin, and this time we're able to push it across the finish line. This championship match is not done yet. It is 2-1 in favor of New York. All right, ladies and gentlemen, more volleyball coming your way. Chicago made that change, that lineup change, to send Hancock from the right side to the left side and bring Metz off the bench on the right side. That paid some dividends. Just a different look first and foremost, but Metz was good on offense and limited opportunities. See if he can get a little bit better from the baseline. But as we've seen a lot of other substitution patterns on the LVC side, they've got a lot of outside hitter options. We saw a different middle blocker, different setter there at the end of the set. To me, the key is going to be Jordan Vari. He's got to stay hot attacking on the right side for LVC, because they really do not have another guy of even close to that caliber at that primary point scoring position. So can the ICEMEN continue to put pressure on those areas, make the LVC offense predictable to set up those blocking situations? Because Scott Sawicki there went on an absolute tear in the middle of that third set, blocking the ball. Lots of drama here still to come. That second set no touch call that helped LVC get across the finish line there. So just really interesting back and forth stuff, high level gamesmanship, and the fatigue factor is going to start to set in here as well. It has been a long weekend, a very long match here, and an extremely long season for so many of these players. It comes down to physical stamina and emotional stamina in the fourth and potentially fifth sets of a championship match. Who has that little bit more that they can give with everything on the line? We're about to find out in set number 4. As expected, the Icemen continuing to roll with the same group that started set number 3. So that's Hancock as the primary outside hitter and Metz as the opposite. On the LVC side, they've made a change to their starting lineup at the outside hitter position. Cam Milligan, who we saw in sets 1 and 3, starts set number 4 at outside hitter across from Matt Clayton. So Billy Weiberg to the bench, at least for now. No changes otherwise. Tanner Maxwell, number 7 in black, on the far side of your screen serving to start set number 4. Beautiful cut in front of Merck. Rescued by Faulkner, but a pretty good chance here for LVC to get on the board first. Slowed down, though, by a block touch by Faulkner. Hancock, off of not a particularly good set, just pushes that one over. That is not touched by the block. Wow, I'm a bit surprised by that call. Milligan is as well. Tried to throw that one into the block and get it back, but caught too much of the tape and deemed not to have touched Faulkner's forearms. Hard fought side out there for the Icemen. Sends Sawicki back to serve. Not a great toss by Sawicki. He catches up to it and keeps it in play. Milligan, excellent block touch to slow him down. Faulkner to Metz in transition, ripped down the line. And CJ Dank, again, vocal with the officials, asking for a back row attack violation, but our up official immediately quells that request by pointing out that he saw clearly a small gap of space between Metz's foot and the attack line. Nice play there by the Icemen, block and transition for Sawicki to get another chance. 2-0. Perfect pass by Gooch. Push set to Seifert is dug. The middle hasn't really gotten going for New York yet. Good slow down block touch, though, to take a kill potentially away from Hancock. That ball set too far outside. Metz makes the play on defense. Now Hancock over the top is dug by Clayton. The chase is on, and a free ball sent over. Hancock a third time. That ball is, oh, that is a net violation against New York. Okay. It looked like the ball might have gone into the antenna. I think it was actually Milligan's right hand that touched the antenna, constituting the violation. The good start for the Icemen continues. Ace serve! A clean, untouched ace right into the seam between the passers, mystifying Clayton and Gooch. Scott Sawicki turning up some heat to give the Icemen an early cushion here in set number 4. Expect Gooch to take a step to his left to take that space away. Rotation 1 receive for Team LVC, giving him some issues right now. But Gooch dodges that one as the run is over. Very good start, though, for Chicago. Cam Milligan now in a starting role for New York. Gets a chance at the baseline. Excellent dodgeball work there on the Iceman side. That ball was clearly going out of bounds, but almost caught. I think it was Metz in the back row. The score should be 5-1. Second, the score is incorrect. Score should be 5-1. Now make it 6-1 on the ace serve by Faulkner. We will make sure we get that changed. Oh. All right, we got the score corrected. 6-1 is correct. Nice float serving there by Faulkner. Clayton handles that ball better. Vari through the block off the shoulder of Off. High, hard heat from number 15 in black to get Team LVC out of that rotation. Rogers to the front court, Seifert to the baseline for the Flamingos. Nice flat float serve, handled well by Hancock. Metz down the line off the tape is dug by Maxwell. Chance in transition here for Vari. Nice high cross court swing. Off the hands of Lorich and out of bounds. That is really well done by Jordan Vari. Saw the right hand of number 8 in light blue and used it as a target. Elite level attackers are not afraid of the block. They can use it to their advantage. 3 serving 6 for Seifert. Metz again, that ball way too far inside by Faulkner, and another chance in transition. This time Clayton through the block, kept alive, and Metz will take a swing. Vari off the head of Metz. Wow, that one is more of a fortunate swing there for Vari to go right between Metz's arms off the top of his head, and that ball couldn't be tracked down. Nice run here for New York to respond to a slow start. Rotation 1 giving Chicago some issues here, but they haven't yet given Hancock the ball on the right side. And they don't have to as Seifert comes up short. Here is Hancock. Excellent pass by Milligan. Ooh, and a jarring setting error by Maxwell. There's no other really explanation for that. Ball just set way too far outside the antenna and way too tight. Vari had no chance. That's a weird mistake. Working on Milligan again was Hancock. Oh, beautiful block by Lorich. Sealed as well by Hoff and Metz. All started with the float service pressure. Absolutely nowhere for Matt Clayton to go. 9-4 Chicago. Can Maxwell get some offensive presence going down the middle of the court? Either Rogers or the Bick to Milligan perhaps. Certainly not off a pass like that. And dodged by Hancock as that swing by Vari goes out of bounds. Wow, float service reception issues coming up here for New York a little bit, and they're going to call timeout to talk about them, amongst other things, I'm sure. The championship pedigree of both teams on display in this championship match at various points, but right now it's the Chicago ICEMEN having to dig as deep as possible, down 2-0. Made really the only lineup change that was possible for them with the bodies that they have available this weekend. And here they are slowly climbing back, attempting to force a 5th set after being down 2-0. Out of the timeout here, the LVC receivers have stepped way up in the court. They're going to try and hand pass this Hancock float serve. 10 serving 4 is the score. Ooh, ball barely gets over the tape. Actually, New York has made a setter change. Mike Kruger, number 26 in black, also out of Damon University in Western New York, is in straight up as a 1-for-1 substitution for Tanner Maxwell. So CJ Dank making that change after the slow start to set number 4, including that pretty confusing setting error by Maxwell a few points ago. See what sort of different energy and distribution Kruger brings to the position as Vari serves here. Oh, ace serve, look at that. Deflected off the tape. Landed right between Merck and Hoff. Tape serves are confusing. Ball changes direction and you have no time to react. You position yourself as a receiver to get behind the ball off the server's hand, and it's very difficult to move when the ball redirects like that. Much better pass by Hoff. Metz on the right side. Good slow down block touch by Rogers. Thrown into the block of Metz by Clayton and covered. Now Vari out of the back row, off the hands of Lorich and out of bounds. 3-0 run by New York out of the timeout. Nice chess match going on here, and CJ Dank manipulating some pieces for the Flamingos to get back within striking distance here. There's a reaction by Merck to get a ball off the tape. Passed beautifully. Hoff ripped down the line, dug by Vari, but back to Chicago. Hoff again, down the line and again dug by Vari. Nice block touch. Hancock runs it down. Hoff this time. What a beautiful beachy shot. Nice chop, 4-4. Love the vision. Troy Gooch tried to dive and get there. Kind of gave a nod of respect for that shot choice by Rich Hoff to get the ICEMEN out of that rotation. Now 11 serving 7 for Tim Lorich. Float serve comes up short. Here's Clayton. Merck watches it go just long, and now Metz back to serve, who struggled in this area in set number 3 when he came in, and a substitution here, another outside hitter permutation for Team LVC. This is number 6 in black, Tim Ferreter, out of the Stevens Institute of Technology in New Jersey. Metz keeps that serve in play and stays behind the service line. That ball is kept alive somehow by Hancock, or is it? No, ball called down. I thought it hit the floor in real time. Give the kill to the new setter, Mike Kruger, taking the offense into his own hands there. Here is Rogers. Ooh, push set run to Sawicki, not full wood on it, but it doesn't matter as Hoff gets the rebound on the dig over and hammers it between the legs of Milligan, I believe. Not a whole lot of middle attack going on from either team. When it's tried to get involved, it's produced a lot of kind of missed connections or paint brushes or fingertip contacts, not a lot of authority from that area of the court. Oh, what a serve by Hoff! An absolute dart thrown into the deep position 5 corner, untouched and undoubted. Incredible serving from Rich Hoff, putting together a really remarkable rookie season. 14 serving 9. The Chicago ICEMEN continue to climb despite that service error there. Perfect pass by Merck. There's some middle offense, but look at that reaction. Unbelievable. Matt Seifert was standing on the ground when Sawicki got that ball into his window, but tall enough and reacted quickly enough to just barely throw his hands up above the net and get the deep block for the kill. Nice play there by number 28 in black. That is, wow, reaching over the net called against Faulkner. I don't know about this call. That ball was deemed to be entirely on the New York side when Faulkner went up to go get it because he's a front court player. Scott Sawicki smartly encouraging his team to forget about that and move on to the next point, but I'm not sure about that one. Oh, ace serve. My goodness, that ball is comfortably in. Hoff let it go over his head. It was in by 6 feet. And Team LVC has taken all the energy back as they have trimmed the deficit to 1. And Dave Hancock still asking about that call on, okay, I think I might see what he's talking about. I think regardless of where Faulkner was when he got that ball, Hancock may be asking that LVC may have touched the net before. I suppose we'll never know. It is 13-14, and LVC very much has the momentum right now. Mike Kruger has come in at the setter position for Team LVC in place of Tanner Maxwell, and is assisted in building a comeback here and just creating a different look. You really can't overstate the impact of that. A setter change changes everything about the way a block reacts and sets up against an opposing offense. You just haven't seen Kruger yet. Almost a lucky ace serve there off the tape. Hancock will take a swing, and the roll shot comes up short. We are tied up at 14. It was 6-1 at one point. But the setter change for Mike Kruger has definitely assisted Team LVC here. Better pass by Hoff. This time a no-doubter from Hancock, straight over the top of the block. Chicago could use plenty more of that. Sawicki helped start set number 4 off with some heat from the baseline. The ICEMEN led 4-0 in this rotation at the beginning of the set. A little too much side-to-side movement there from Sawicki as LVC lets it drift out of bounds. Beautiful pass by Merck off a pretty good serve. Hancock out of bounds, cross court, no touch. Just a tiny bit underneath that ball. LVC has taken the lead at 16-15. Man, it's been this portion of the set in each of the previous 3 and now that have provided the most drama and changes in both momentum and the scoreboard. Milligan misses that serve out of bounds, and we're tied up at 16. What can Faulkner do? In addition to so much that he already does for both the league and this ICEMEN franchise. Pretty well handled by Gooch. Vari tipped through the block. Merck makes the play. Mets in transition, not able to be kept alive by Milligan. Really good charging forward play there by an elite libero, number 3 in black, Colin Merck for Chicago. That looked weird. That is a hard play to make as Hancock pulled his hands away at the last second from the block on the tight play. And Merck correctly identified that he needed to charge forward and get underneath it. Faulkner is noticing some condensation, or maybe like a couple drips of liquid maybe from the ceiling right by where he was serving, so he'll clean that up right underneath your screen. Right about this time last year, the 2024 Tier 1 championship match between the Boston Bounce and the Indiana Team Pineapple on this very court went a deep, dramatic 5 sets. Could we be setting the stage for something similar? Kruger to Ferreter. That ball is blocked. That is clearly off of Ferreter on its way out of bounds. And that is called by the down official. Called correctly. The ball ended up out of bounds. It happened so quickly, but it clearly deflected off of Ferreter's leg on its way out of bounds. That is an elite block move by Stone Metz. Terrific physicality and hand placement. Ferreter just off the bench into the match here in set number 4. No luck on his first swing. 18-16 ICEMEN, a big break point right there. Ooh, good float service pressure from Faulkner. Ferreter somehow through the block, and That should have been 4 contacts. Ferreter is blocked and covered. I think the Icemen touched that ball 4 times. Yeah, that's what the LVC bench is talking about, and I think they're correct. Metz went up to kind of initiate a joust play, but he had to wait until LVC touched that ball. The Icemen had already touched it 3 times, and I think we might have a conversation about this. I believe this should be Team LVC's point. At the moment, it's 19-16 Icemen. And it is. Okay, overruled. The score will be 18-17. Yeah, I think that's a good call. I think that's a really good work in communication by our officiating team just to talk through what happened there, make sure you're on the same page, and correctly call 4 contacts against the Icemen. So 1-point game here, Seifert serving. Pretty good pass by Hancock, who gets the ball on the right side, rolled over. Vari makes the play. Ferreter for the tie, through the block, and he's rejected. Not through the block, stuffed by the block. Metz coming over from the left side to complete the 6 hands in front of Ferreter that time. Really important side out there for Chicago out of rotation 1. 19-17 for Hancock. Short float serve working on Milligan. Rogers in the middle is dug by Merck. Hoff redirects it to the sideline. Wow, look at that play. Rich Hoff finds that ball from the inside and with 2 hands over his own shoulder places it on the position 1 sideline right in front of LVC captain Chris Hosley. And CJ Dank asking maybe about how many timeouts or substitutions he has. He's definitely used 1 for the setter and 1 for Ferreter in this set alone, but now he's going to call timeout as LVC trails by 3, 20-17. The Icemen in position perhaps to force a 5th set in this championship match for the 2nd year in a row. These 2 teams have battled in so many places, so many eras. The 2020 championship match in the middle of the COVID pandemic, played at Volleyball's facility in Northeast Indiana. That championship match was between these 2 teams. The championship match in 2022 was between these 2 teams in Chicago, but won by Team LVC. Now in Cincinnati in 2025, the latest chapter being written before our eyes. 2017 Icemen trailing by a set. Not a good pass by Ferreter. And he's rejected by Metz again. Unbelievable, the blocking. The blocking presence of the Chicago Icemen late, especially since Tim Ferreter has entered, and now he will go back to the bench. Matt Clayton returns at the outside hitter position, but the block of Metz in particular, but give credit to Tim Lorich, the middle blocker, being there. Really too much for Ferreter this last string of points. Hancock looking to keep the ball in play and continue this run. Rogers in the middle. Ooh, maybe a miscommunication between Hancock and Merck. Both of them in kind of a position to make that play on defense. But Lance Rogers will take the kill to the stat sheet. And now Tanner Maxwell is going to come back in for Kruger. So Kruger is done for the set. A job very well done by number 26 in black. Really giving Team LVC a chance here in set number 4 since coming in. But Maxwell must remain for the remainder of the set in that position. Merck diving forward. This will be Metz against 2 blockers. Maxwell reacts and makes the play on the tip. Clayton thrown into the block. That ball is on the top of the tape. No net violation. Free ball here for Chicago. Metz ripped down the line off the chest of Gucci into the curtain. The Icemen are 3 points away. Been really impressed by Matt Clayton's game today with the efficiency of his recycle play. When he's in trouble, he's done a really good job of putting the ball into the block softly to get it back on his side. But right now what New York needs is termination. Clayton there provides very nicely so. capitalizes on Metz just reaching outside his body barely. 19 serving 22. Clayton to the baseline. Perfect pass by Hoff. Jumped a little early. The block slowed him down. Great chance on the inside ball in transition. Sawicki is there. And Metz wins the play on the joust. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that play. A substitution now as Klosak comes in to serve for Metz. I think Rogers was asking if that play was made reaching over the net, but no luck for Team LVC. 23-19 Chicago. I like this substitution to bring Klosak in to serve. Keeps it in play, working on Gooch. Milligan slowed down. Great look in transition. Hoff through the block and down. Punishing that space in the seam. Very good block defense by Chicago. 24-19. Set point ICEMEN to force a tiebreaker with everything on the line. Klosak again. Ooh, redirects off the tape on Milligan. Tricky chase down and a free ball sent over. Hoff for the set. Off the block and Milligan is there. Milligan jumps really early, tries to recycle into the block, but Tim Faulkner, the captain and founder, comes up with the set clinching block, and sure enough, we are going 5. A one-set, all or nothing sprint to 15 points will decide the 2025 VLA champion. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is what's on the line. The trophy is in the house for the 2025 VLA Tier 1 champions. We've already given out a couple of these. Congratulations to the Sun City Team IX men and women, both for winning the championships in their respective divisions for men's Tier 2 and on the women's side just in the middle of this match here. But this is the big one, and both these two teams have 2 of these each already in their trophy case. Whoever wins this will set the pace for all-time VLA history in terms of number of championships. This is the 6th championship trophy in VLA history. 2 won by Chicago, 2 won by New York, 1 won by the Boston Bounce, and even more drama on top of the fact that the Chicago ICEMEN are 15 points away from finishing a perfect season. Can they make it 22-0, perfection in reverse sweep fashion, to win the championship in 2025? We are about to find out. First to 15, must win by 2. Teams will change sides at 8 with everything on the line. The lineups are coming out onto the floor. No changes for the ICEMEN. The wrinkle that they put in at the beginning of set 3 has paid off. Dave Hancock started the first 2 sets at opposite, switched to the outside hitter position in set number 3. Stone Metz came in off the bench to play the opposite spot. And the Chicago ICEMEN have clawed back from down 2 sets to none to force what we have right here. Set 5, and some changes on the LVC side for the first time since set number 1. Maverick O'Neal, number 11 in black, is in the middle blocker spot for New York. The outside hitters, Billy Weiberg and Cam Milligan. Another different combination of left sides. We'll see how that affects New York's receiving pattern. Tanner Maxwell will start serving for New York, number 7 in black on the far side. Every point magnified that much more. Obviously the stakes with the set only to 15. And the first serve is out of bounds by Maxwell. Chicago on the board first. Scott Sawicki, already a two-time VLA champion. In 2020 and 2021, the Chicago ICEMEN team won the title. Then the next 2 years, 2022 and 23, were dominated by New York. What a serve! Scott Sawicki with an absolute rocket from 5-5. No chance for Weiberg. Unbelievable service pressure, especially in the moment, but you drop that serve anywhere, any gym, any time, that's an ace. 2-0 start for the ICEMEN. Sawicki again, not out of bounds by much, but it does go long. The LVC bench celebrates. Cam Milligan back to serve. Keep an eye on Maverick O'Neill, number 11 in black, the new middle blocker for Team LVC. Nice fight-off pass by Hoff. Faulkner, a front court player, initiates the joust, gets the ball back. Now Hancock, slowed down by O'Neill. Weiberg rolled, practically a free ball there for Merck. Metz out of the back row with nobody up against him. But a back row attack violation is called. Stone Metz stepped on the attack line. We are tied up at 2. That is a big unforced error for Chicago. Great setting from Faulkner to set that up. Good pass by Hancock. Hancock adjusts to that set. Excellent touch. Maxwell, deep cross court, killed by Weiberg. What an extended reach by Tanner Maxwell to get 2 hands on that ball. Very nice play. Team LVC takes the lead. Milligan again. Comes up short. Faulkner's turn. Also a 2-time VLA champion and the MVP of the 2021 season. Well handled by Weiberg. Excellent slow down touch. Chance for Hancock to take the lead, and he can't. No touch. Not good hand contact on that swing. 4-3 New York is the score. And at a very quick and early substitution, Eric Martin going to come in and serve for Maverick O'Neill. Metz through the block. Pretty good slow down touch by Vari. Weiberg blocked and just out of bounds. Just out of bounds wide on the block touch. Give Weiberg the credit. And an assist for Eric Martin off the bench in the serving specialist role. 5-3 New York. Good block defense here for Team LVC early. Hancock. Excellent dig by Maxwell. That is not into the ceiling. Weiberg dug by Merck. Hoff sends over a free ball to Rogers. Weiberg chopped down the line. Beautifully finds the space. The ICEMEN offense cannot find the floor right now. LVC on the serve of Eric Martin, of all people, have opened up a 3-point lead. Rotation 1 receive for the ICEMEN. Decent pass. Hancock again. Another good slow down block touch. Transition. Weiberg. Deep cross court and down. The run continues. This has to be a timeout for Chicago, and it is. The serving of Eric Martin to allow his block to slow down Chicago has given LVC an all-important 7-3 fifth set lead. Advantage New York here in set number 5, obviously. Who has the required gas left in the tank to get to 15 points and 2 points clear? Martin again. Lorich, the middle blocker, overpasses the ball with his hands, and Weiberg takes care of it on the overpass swing. The teams will change sides as LVC reaches 8 points first. It is 8-3, the float service run of Eric Martin, the unsung hero of this fifth set for Team LVC so far. Eric Martin, at 50 years of age, keeps coming back, keeps playing, keeps being a part of it. So heavily involved with the VLA as a league as well. Metz, stuffed by Vari and can't be covered. This rotation is a steel trap that the Chicago ICEMEN right now cannot escape. It is 9-3. The LVC bench is on its feet. They can feel it. Lorich in the middle, hits it out of bounds. Not a good set by Faulkner. It is 10-3. This ball must go to Dave Hancock on the ICEMEN side. What a service run by Eric Martin. Not a good pass. Metz thrown back down by Vari. Slam dunk with two hands. It is 11-3. What a run. What a ridiculous service run this continues to be. Rolled, and Hancock finally ends the run from Chicago's right side. But that serving performance by the oldest player in the league, Eric Martin, very well may push LVC to their third all-time VLA championship. Good pass by Gooch. Vari outside the antenna, throws it through the block though, through Hoff and down. Somehow he negotiates that tricky, critical angle, and it's 12-4 New York. Vari now can be as aggressive as possible from the baseline here. Tight pass. Faulkner actually did a good job of confusing New York, and now they get a chance to swing, and Metz puts it away down the line. You had expected New York to take care of that one on the overpass play, but still all the pressure on Chicago to mount what would be the most ridiculous comeback in VLA history if they can pull it off. Lorich must serve in. Wow, beautiful play by Billy Weiberg. So far into the court to pass that ball, gets to the outside and finds the line. 13-5. Weiberg and the Flamingos are 2 points away. Hancock, what a dig by Gooch out of the back row, but destroyed by Rich Hoff on the dig over. Explosive there from the ICEMEN, but all their work must come from the baseline here, and they've inserted Ethan Klosak. Klosak in for Stone Metz to serve. And that ball is not even close. Not good hand contact. It is championship point for Team LVC. Lance Rogers, already a two-time champion, one of the godfathers of this franchise, for the title. Faulkner to Hancock. He's blocked! Blocked by Maverick O'Neal. Maverick O'Neal starts set 5 in the middle for LVC, and he delivers the championship winning stuff block for the Flamingos. Their third all-time and their third in 4 years to take the championship trophy back to Albany, New York, and to shut down the chance at the Chicago perfect season. Unbelievable drama. What a service run by Eric Martin, who I will absolutely be pulling in to interview after the trophy is awarded in just a minute. This is a true team performance from LVC. Everybody from the long-time 15-year veterans to the new blood, everybody top to bottom contributing to this championship. And for the Chicago ICEMEN, it is heartbreak. So close to all-time history and perfection, but their final season mark ends at still a league historic best 21-1. It is time to give out the trophy, then we will talk to the victorious Team LVC.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Martin.
Hey, man.
A 3-time VLA champion.
That sounds good.
Doesn't it?
Love it.
3 and 4 years for you and Team LVC, and this one was really an all-timer. That service run that you just architected in the 5th set of a championship match, what was it, 8-0, I think? Where does that rank in your illustrious volleyball career?
Whatever helps the team. So as long as I'm making serves and the guys are putting up walls and we're digging balls and we're getting assists when we need to, we're just playing team ball. That's all it is. You know how LVC is. We have so many amazing players. It doesn't matter who's on the court. Somebody's going to, if it wasn't me, it's probably going to be Jake. If it wasn't Jake, it's going to be somebody else.
Describe that to me, because this Team LVC, I think there are a lot of teams in the VLA that go back a long way. I don't think anybody goes back as long of a way as LVC does, and has kept some of that crew intact all along. The continuity that you guys have and the effort that you've made to get some young guys in, the culture of Team LVC has always remained. How have you done that?
It starts with leadership. I have said this multiple times to multiple people. As new teams form and develop, and I'm friends with lots of people, as you know, it's like I try to explain to them it's the culture, and it all starts at the top. And when you got a guy like Hosley who's running it, you got a coach like CJ, you got some old heads that can kind of contribute with either the mental side, helping some of these younger guys get to be where they need to be, or actually doing some things and having some fun. I mean, the culture matters, and it's like every team that you watch that's good, it's because the people at the top know how to run the show. And when you don't have that, you see teams that are like, oh, that guy's good, but they crumble. Or that team is good, they don't finish because the culture's good. I'm not saying that ICEMEN aren't amazing. It could have gone either way. It just that, to your point, right? We know we can trust some guys, and we just try to do our best to get things done. And sometimes it works out.
Sometimes it does. 3 out of 4 years it has now worked out.
It's nice to have it back.
Yeah,
nice to have it back.
I bet it is. Tell the people how old you are.
I am 52.6.
What keeps you coming back?
Look at these guys. Why would I not want to come back? It's the highest level ball that a few of us can play. You get to be around the greatest people in the world that mean everything, right? And we know volleyball is life and it's culture, right? And we just love each other. And, why would I not want to be part of this? Look at, these guys. They're all idiots. The biggest idiots in the world.
They're They're begging you to come in and take a team championship
All right.
photo. I'm going to let you do that.
I appreciate it,
One
man.
more send off to the people for anything that you want to say to the broadcast about this achievement.
Hey, it was a really good year. It's been always tough. And again, we're trying to get younger and better. So we're going through some growing pains. So to be able to get to where we are, super special. So hopefully we'll keep building on that. But, thanks to the VLA, thanks everybody watching and all the support, and hopefully this thing is going to go in the right direction.
Thank you, my friend.
I love you,
Congratulations. Go celebrate with your team.
Appreciate it, man.
Go get in that championship photo. I'll take this. What a finish, ladies and gentlemen. What a finish. Congratulations to New York. 3 championships in 4 years is something really remarkable in a league that's grown like the VLA has, and a team that's existed for as long and has dominated for so long as Team LVC has. That level of consistent success and the structure from top to bottom, like Eric Martin just mentioned, is so commendable and is an incredible example of what is possible through the Volleyball League of America. Congratulations to the Chicago ICEMEN as well. An unbelievable season that comes up just short of all-time history. Congratulations to the Sun City Team IX men and women on their championships in men's Tier 2 and our women's division. Just an amazing season for the league to cover coast to coast, 4 different competitive divisions, levels, men's and women's, 4 regions, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of matches, and thousands of fans, and impacts made, and opportunities given for people to do this. So we couldn't do this without you, the viewers, and we ask for your continued support as the league continues to grow and get bigger and better this off-season, and we are very excited to put some things together for 2026. So my name is Rob St. Clair. My pleasure to sign off for one final time from Hamilton, Ohio. For Team Woot, our production crew, on behalf of the VLA Board of Directors, and for American Volleyball at large, thank you very much for watching and for your support. Enjoy your summer.